Hey, what's up YouTube? I'm Builder Brian, and on today's video, I'm going to be showing you a step-by-step guide on how to install a dishwasher. As you can see behind me, the dishes are stacking up, and it's time for the machine. Let's dive right into it. Alright, so here's our dishwasher. I ordered this one off of Home Depot. Places like Home Depot, they don't carry these things in stock. They'll have displays, and then you can order it through them and they'll deliver it to your home. And I just want to make you aware that the dishwasher and the hookups are sold separate. If you buy just the dishwasher, it's not going to come with your power cord, your drain line, or your supply line. I don't know why they do that, but they do. You can pull your drain line, your supply line, and your electrical cord off an old dishwasher, but in this case, I don't have one, so I had to buy it all. So here's our opening for our dishwasher, and most all dishwashers have a standard width of 24 inches wide, and there's adjustable feet on the bottom. So when you're ordering one, just get one that's 24 inches wide and you'll be good to go. And when we go in the opening, you can see that the old dishwasher was running all of its cords and drains and supply lines through this hole. That's fine, but to make things easier and more efficient for the long run, I'm going to be drilling an additional hole up here in this top corner of the cabinet for our drain line. And the reason being is you want your drain line higher than the inlet to your P-trap, because we don't want dirty water from your sink coming back into the dishwasher, getting your clean dishes all dirty. So by putting this pipe up high, we're going to eliminate backflow. Before we get too far and hook up all the electrical, the drain, the water line, we're going to go ahead and dry fit the dishwasher in our opening to make sure it fits. Okay, happy people, our dishwasher fits. And you might be thinking, it's like, hey, that shouldn't be something that's an issue. You said it's all a standard size. That is true, but some people remodel their homes and they get new flooring, they get laminate, they get LVP, and it raises the elevation of your floor. And that reduces the height of the opening for your dishwasher. So when you're ordering a dishwasher, make sure that it will fit in your opening height-wise. Width-wise, it's almost never an issue because they're all standard 24 inches wide. And they're all normally a standard height, but just to be safe, measure, measure, measure. So with the door open, you can see a little bit better. We have about a 1/2 inch gap, and it's tilting forward. Here at the bottom, we're flush, but at the top, we're tilting forward a strong 1/4 inch. So just to make life easier, we're gonna get this all adjusted to fit perfectly before we hook up any of our connections. We'll go ahead and adjust those feet now. Here's one of our dishwasher feet, and we're gonna adjust all 4 of these until we get it perfect. You might have to pull this out of the opening a few times, but hey, we're not gonna rush. If you're inexperienced to, DIY repairs and installations on a home, take your time, be patient. Do not rush through this. For example, if you connect the water line improperly, you can flood your whole house. So just be patient with yourself and don't rush through anything. Okay, so I adjusted the feet and I got it right the very first time. If you gotta do it twice, you're okay, don't worry about it. If you gotta do it 3 times, you might be stupid. Just gotta let you know. Just like that, got that hole drilled into the cabinet. All you need is a spade bit and a drill. I use a DeWalt drill. I bought it. It came in a kit with an impact driver and an oscillating tool. I use that kit on every single project I work on. I'll put a link in the description if you'd like to get that kit for yourself. In the meantime, I'm going to be sweeping up all this dust I just made. So our dishwasher didn't fall over. I set it down like that. You want to put it on its back. And what we're going to do is we're going to take this cover plate off, this toe kick, and that's going to give us access to our hookups. Set this off to the side here. Okay, so here is our water supply. That's where we hook up our water line. And here is where we connect our electrical. It's where our machine gets power. And this is our drain line. It goes off the side here. I got the end of it tucked in right here. So those are all of our hookups. First things first, let's hook up our water. We're going to do a little bit of prep on these threads. Before we put our fitting on, I'm going to wrap these threads with plumber's tape. And then, after that, I'm going to apply a little bit of this pipe thread sealant. You don't want to put too much of the pipe thread sealant because what it can do is it can come into the filter and clog your filter and you're not going to get any water to your dishes. So we're just going to put a little bit on the outside, nothing on the inside. And lucky you guys are watching this video because you need to make sure that you have a rubber washer inside this fitting. Sometimes it falls out. Other videos, other people, they're not going to show you this stuff. If you're enjoying this video and you want to know how to do stuff right, like and subscribe. If you were to start this machine, go to work, and come home, you would come home to a flood. You'd be up to your butt cheeks in alligators. And so I'm saving you all a whole lot of trouble. So I've got the tape on and I've got the pipe thread sealant. And that's the amount that you want all the way around. And you don't have to get it perfect all the way around because when you're screwing this fitting on, it's going to separate it and it's going to get it to where it needs to be. And we're just going to tighten this just enough. We don't want to tighten it so much to where it compromises this blue plastic threaded piece. So we're going to get it secure. We're not going to harp on it. So I got this as tight as I want it to be. And if you're thinking to yourself, Brian, you got me all scared about flooding my house. You should be scared. But if you take the right precautions, you should be fine. Once the system is all set up, you can take the toe kick plate off the cover. And while the system's running, you can peek underneath and make sure that you have no leaks. Here we've got threads all over again, and so we're going to repeat the process with the tape, the pipe thread dope, and we're going to make sure that we have a rubber washer inside our supply line on both sides. This is critical. Right now, I'm under the sink, and we've got our supply line. We are connecting our dishwasher to our hot water supply line. And just like all the other threads, let me back up so you can see these threads. We are going to prep the fitting. We're going to get our Teflon tape on and a little bit of pipe thread sealant. I've already got the tape on there. I'm just going to apply a little sealant. And then we're going to poke our supply line that's attached to our dishwasher through this bottom hole. just like that. Because we just crammed our supply line through that hole in the cabinet, there's a possibility that we could have some debris on the inlet of the supply line. So we're going to shake it out, make sure it's clean, and that we still have our washer, which we do. And we're going to go ahead and connect this now. Just like that. We are all connected. Once our dishwasher is installed and we're ready to do a load of wash, we'll go ahead and turn this water on. We're going to turn the knob, but for now, we're leaving the water off. Okay, our next victim. Our machine's going to need some power, so we're going to hook up our electrical cord here. Gonna undo this packaging and take the cover plate off, and we're going to rock and roll. So in order to take this cover plate off, we're going to need a special bit. Some people call it a star tip bit. I don't know why they do this, because most homeowners do not carry this bit around the house. So I'm trying to save you guys some trips to Home Depot. Before you get started, you're going to need one of these to take the cover plate off. So we've got our cover plate propped open, and the reason why we have this box is because we've got these wires that are gonna be spliced together with our wire nuts, and we do not want these, just hanging out in the open. So they do you a favor and they give you an electrical box. And to make it extra safe, they were kind enough to give me this plastic piece that clips into this opening. So I'm just gonna cram these in. And I'll push. There we go. It's just barbed, and it fits in there just like that. The power cord is into our electrical box. I'm just gonna go over these wires. So this white one is our neutral. This black one is our power. And we're gonna color coordinate these, black to black, white to white. And here we have the ground. And you're thinking, oh no, where's the ground? You don't have one. We're gonna take this ground and we're gonna attach it to this grounding screw. So it just grounds it to the machine. And that's all you need. I'm gonna go ahead and get these wire nutted up right now. So I was about to get these all spliced together with the wire nuts, but I noticed that these are just stripped a little bit too long. And when the wire nut was sitting, I could still see bare copper. And you do not want to see bare copper. That's what the wire nut's for. It covers up the bare copper. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my wire snippers and I'm just going to cut this copper down a little bit. So this is exactly how you want these wired up. When you look at the bottoms of the wire nuts, I can't see any copper. And there we have our ground attached. So make it look like that. And we're going to put our cover back on. And we're going to get this power cord going through the same hole that we just shoved our water supply line through. The cover plate is on, and here's our wire. I snaked it around so it's running side by side our water supply. And if you'll notice, it doesn't quite reach. But that's okay, because when we stand this washing machine up and start scooting it back, it will. So don't worry about it being a little short. Our last hookup is our drain, and they've got it attached here on the side. Here's the end of it. And first we're gonna prep our disposal. Under the sink, I have a disposal. If you don't have one, there's attachments to your P-trap that you can have to hook a dishwasher up. I'm under my sink now, and this is my disposal. And here is where you attach the drain hose for the dishwasher. And your disposal has this blocked, but it's meant to be removed if you have a dishwasher. If this wasn't blocked, when you're running your sink, all your water would just pour out of here. So there's a little plastic cover that I have to take a screwdriver, and if that's not enough, we can use a finish hammer and just kind of tap, tap, tap until that plastic cover breaks free, and we'll go on the other side here and we'll fish that plastic out, because you don't want that plastic piece grinding up your disposal. So that's what we're doing now. We're chipping out that plastic cap. Alrighty, I got this little plastic piece out. I just had to take my headlight and carefully remove this. Unplug your disposal when you're reaching your hand down there to get this plastic piece out. Save your fingers. This cap is perforated around the edges, and I just had to go around the whole perimeter with a flathead screwdriver and gently tap it out. You don't want to go too crazy and knock your disposal off the bottom of your sink. Here's our drain hose. And before, we attached every connection to the dishwasher first and then ran it through the hole. We're going to do this opposite. I'm going to attach this to the disposal first and then run this through the hole I made through the cabinet, just because the hole I made isn't big enough to fit this rubber end through. We'll go ahead and do that now. And with the drain is provided these clamps, and you gotta go from behind and just snake it all the way up to the top before you get it on your disposal. And then there's another clamp for attaching this bottom side to that black bottom side. I'll get a close up here later. We'll get attached to the disposal first. Okay, we got it. So this little clamp, you're gonna need to pinch that together with a pair of pliers, because you cannot do that by hand. And you just gotta work it into position. And now you see why I drilled that hole high up in that cabinet corner early on. Kind of a gnarly exit wound. Exit wounds are always gnarly. But this hose goes up so high because when you're doing dishes, let's back up. Let's say if this hose was running through that hole and you were doing dishes, all the water that pools up in the disposal would just go down the drain, of course, but it would also go down into the dishwasher. We do not want dirty water going into the dishwasher, so that's why it comes up so high. So when you're doing dishes, it can't go higher than this little inlet here. There you have it. And here I just attached the other end of our drain hose. Definitely get that clamp where it needs to be, where the majority of those barbs are. We've got our drain hose, we've got our power, and we got our water supply. We are ready to turn this washing machine right side up and start wiggling it into place. And remember, our power cord was pretty short. I've got just enough space to grab this power cord and shove it through that bottom hole. I'll do that now before I push this dishwasher back any further. Pull through as much as I can. All right. Now, before I push it back any further, I want to point out that there's this foam cloth that goes over it, and the purpose of this is to make the machine quieter. And this is a pretty tight fit. We'll see if I can get it in there without scrunching it up too bad. For me personally, I don't think I need it. It's not going to bother me if the machine runs just a little bit louder, but just for the sake of the video, I'm going to put it on for you guys. Okay, that worked out pretty good. Wasn't too bad. And I'm just going to pull my power cord through a little bit more. And I'm going to get this camera at a different angle so I can show you the clips on the top. Now, your dishwasher comes with these little clips. If you were wondering how your dishwasher stays in place once it's pushed into place, this is how. It's done with these clips. So there's a little groove. Clips right in. Got the other one in already for you. And so once this is pushed into place, I'll take a screw through one of these holes and anchor it to the bottom of the countertop. I have butcher's block countertop, and that makes it easy. If you have a stone countertop, there's a piece of equipment I'll include in the description. I'll post a picture of it up above. That gets attached to the side of the cabinet and the wall. What it is, you just bend it at a 90 degree on both sides, screw it to the cabinet side and to the wall, and it sits snug on the bottom of the stone countertop, and you screw these clips to this little piece of aluminum instead of the stone, and it works out great. So it's super easy. I'll include that in the description. So I've got this dishwasher pushed all the way into place, got it lined up just right, and I'm going to take these screws that were provided and send it right up into one of those holes into the countertop. There we go. I can open and close this dishwasher without it moving at all. And if you're like me, I like having everything as flush and symmetrical as possible. Got that just right, so the reveal is the same all the way across. Now we've only got a few things left to do. We're gonna plug our dishwasher in to the power. And don't ask me about this outlet, I didn't wire this house. Just like that. That's in there. And we're gonna turn our water on. That's a tough one to turn. I'm gonna have to do that with two hands off camera. All right, people, we got this thing installed. We got it hooked up to our drain, we got it hooked up to power, and we got it hooked up to our water supply. I really hope all the water connections didn't intimidate you. If you follow the steps like I showed, you should be able to sleep safe and sound knowing that you're not going to wake up to a flood. Definitely check underneath the dishwasher for any leaks before you put the toe kick back on, and check under the sink as well. Once that's done, you're ready to put the toe kick back on and rock and roll. No more hand washing dishes. People, if you enjoyed this video and this was helpful, hit the like button, subscribe, it helps me out, and you'll be able to see more content like this, being able to do any repair, any installation on your home. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next episode.